Close your eyes for a moment. Think about the last time you were in a social setting, maybe at work, a party, or even with your family. Did you act the same way in each of those situations? Or did you adjust subtly or dramatically, depending on who was around you? Now, here's a deeper question. Which version of you is the real one? Are you the confident speaker in meetings, the quiet listener among friends, or the playful, carefree self when alone? Or are you all of them? This is the enigma Carl Jung spent his life unraveling. Jung, the Swiss psychiatrist who broke away from Freud to forge his own path, believed that the human psyche is not a single unified self, but a tapestry of hidden forces, masks, and buried truths. And at the heart of his theory lies the core persona, the mask we present to the world. But is this mask a lie, a necessary illusion, or a bridge between our inner and outer worlds? Today, we're going on a journey, a deep exploration of Jung's theory of the persona, the shadow, the anima and animus, and ultimately the process of individuation, where we become who we truly are. And along the way, I'll challenge you with questions, invite you to reflect, and, if you're finding this as fascinating as I do, I'll remind you to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss our deep dives into psychology, philosophy, and the mysteries of the mind. Before we dive into the persona, let's set the stage. Who was Carl Gustav Jung? Born in 1875 in Switzerland, Jung was a pioneer of depth psychology, the study of the unconscious mind. He started as a protege of Freud, but their friendship fractured over a fundamental question: what drives human behavior? Freud believed in the primacy of sexuality and aggression as motivators. Jung, however, saw something grander, a collective unconscious, a shared psychic inheritance of symbols, myths, and archetypes that shape all human experience. And at the individual level, he proposed that we are not just shaped by childhood traumas, but by a lifelong process of self-discovery and integration. So, where does the persona fit into all this? Let's find out. Imagine you're an actor on a stage. You play different roles: a professional at work, a friend at dinner, a son or daughter at home. Each role requires a different version of you. Jung called this the persona, from the Latin word for mask. In ancient theater, actors wore masks to signify their characters. Jung believed we do the same in everyday life. Think about it. The way you speak to your boss versus your best friend. The polished version of yourself on a first date versus how you act after years of marriage. The strong, composed face you put on in public versus the private moments of doubt or vulnerability. But here's the critical question. If the persona is a mask, does that make it fake? Answer thoughtfully. Jung would say no. The persona isn't inherently false, it's necessary. Without it, social life would be chaos. But the danger comes when we over-identify with our persona, when we believe the mask is all we are. Have you ever met someone who's always on? The perpetual salesman, the eternal caregiver, the unshakable tough guy? That's a persona that's taken over. And beneath it is often a neglected self. Which brings us to the shadow. By the way, if you're fascinated by how psychology shapes our lives, don't forget to subscribe. We've got so much more to explore together. If the persona is what we show the world, the shadow is what we hide, even from ourselves. It's the repressed desires, the unacceptable emotions, the parts of us we deny. Ever been shocked by a sudden burst of anger, a cruel thought, an irrational fear? That's your shadow knocking at the door. Jung wrote, "Everyone carries a shadow, And the less it is embodied in the individual's conscious life, the blacker and denser it is. In other words, the more we ignore our shadow, the stronger it grows. This is why we often see our own flaws in others. The person who irritates you most, they might be mirroring something you refuse to acknowledge in yourself. The traits we condemn in others are often the ones we've buried within. So, I challenge you, what's in your shadow? What parts of yourself have you been avoiding? Jung believed that within every man is a feminine aspect, the anima, and within every woman, a masculine aspect, the animus. These aren't about gender roles, but about the balancing forces within us. Think of the wise old woman in fairy tales, or the heroic masculine guide. These are anima and animus figures appearing in dreams and stories across cultures. Integrating them helps us become whole. The ultimate goal in Jung's psychology is individuation, the process of integrating all these parts, persona, shadow, anima, animus, into the true self. It's not about perfection, but wholeness. As Jung said, the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. If this journey into the depths of the mind resonated with you, don't forget to subscribe. We're just getting started. Thanks for watching.